Hello neighbors, and welcome back to the channel. I am Ariana from The Therapist Next Door. So today I'm going to talk about relationship deal breakers. I think this is an important thing to talk about because oftentimes we don't even know what our deal breakers are until we experience them. And sometimes when we do experience something that we think is not good, we can doubt or question that for ourselves. So I'm going to go over just some common deal breakers. This is not an exhaustive list, but just a good start. And of course, you may have your own deal breakers that you may want to add to this list. Let's start with the first one, emotional unavailability or avoidance. So if your partner often pushes you away, they are not emotionally available, they're avoidant, they don't want to talk when you want to talk about your feelings or you want to talk about concern in the relationship, this is a deal breaker. I promise you, you cannot have a healthy relationship with somebody that displays this. Be mindful of that one. The next one would be untreated mental health issues or addiction. Of course, we're not going to judge people that struggle with these things because it's very common and it's not anyone's fault. But if they are untreated, meaning this person is unwilling to get help, is going to make it impossible for you to have a healthy relationship. Addiction and some mental health disorders make it impossible for you to have intimacy. There's many reasons for that. If your partner is not willing to get help, they're not willing to go to therapy or get treatment for this, what's going to happen is that you are going to be stuck where you are at now, and that is not going to change. I wouldn't recommend that. So that is a deal breaker. The next one would be abuse. This should be obvious, but unfortunately it's not. A lot of people deal with this. So any form of abuse is a deal breaker. If you've acknowledged the abuse and the person is not remorseful, there's no plan for it to stop or change, this is a huge deal breaker. And I suggest that you get some support and get out of this relationship or heal from this relationship as soon as you can. The last deal breaker would be repetitive cheating or lying. So there's a lot of reasons why people cheat, and sometimes there are things that you can do to work through that and work through forgiveness, and that definitely happens. I've seen it as a couples therapist. But if it is a repeated pattern of behavior along with lying, this is a deal breaker. It's evident of this person's character and how they tend to deal with things in their life, and it's going to make it again impossible for you to have a healthy relationship or for you to have trust, which is needed for a healthy relationship. I know I said that was the last tip, but there's actually one more deal breaker to consider. Of course, I believe that people with different opinions can get along and can have great relationships. However, if you are on completely opposite sides, anything regarding politics or religion, meaning you are far left or far right and your partner has the opposite, this could very well become a deal breaker unless you are willing to have very, very, very open and mature conversations. So keep this in mind as well. Those are deal breakers that I really want you to be aware of and I want you to acknowledge for yourself. And again, I'd like you to think about if you have any of your own deal breakers that you may want to add to this list so that as you are dating, as you are exploring relationships, you can be looking out for these, because I want all of us to thrive in happy and healthy relationships. Hopefully this was helpful. I will definitely see you guys again soon. Check out some of my other videos. I've got a lot of tips for relationships, and let me know if there's anything that you want to know more about. Authentically yours, Ariana.